you so much for being today in the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam class. We will continue with our study. Today, according to the board, the board is text number 4. So we are reading Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 9, chapter 14, entitled The King Pururava Enchanted by Urvasi. Text number 4. So since text number 4, 5, they don't have purport, we will read until text 6, that it has a short purport. Perhaps we can continue also. Okay. So let's recite the text that is on the board. So Yayat Raja Suje Sujena Vijitya Bhuvanaptrajam Patim Brihaspater Darpat Tarang Namaharat Balat Soyayat Raja Sujenam Vijitya Bhuvanaptrajam Patnim Brihaspater Darpat Tarang Namaharat Valat Soyayat Raja Sujenam Vijitya Bhuvanatrajat Patnim Brihaspater Darpat Tarang Namaharat Valat. Anybody would like to repeat? Soyayat Raya Sujenam Vijitya Bhuvanaptrayam Patnim Brihaspati Tarpat Tarang Namaharat Valat. Anybody else? Good. Soyayat Raya Sujena Patnim Brihaspati Darpat Tarang Namaharat Valat Soyayat Raya Sujena Vijitya Bhuvanatraya Patnim Brihaspati Darpat Tarang Namaharat Valat. Thank you, Sruvi. Okay, so now we can repeat word by word and the translation. Sa, he, Soma, it's Sa, it's he, Soma. Ajayat, perform. Raya Sujena, the sacrifice known as Raya Suya. Vijitya, after conquering. Bhuvana Trajan, the three worlds, Swarga, Martya, and Patala. Patnim, the wife, Brihaspati, or Brihaspati, the spiritual master of demigods. Darpat, out of pride. Taram, Tara, Nama by name. Aharat took away, Balat by force. Translation. After conquering the three worlds, the upper, middle, and lower planetary systems, Soma, the moon god, performed a great sacrifice known as the Rajasuya Yajna. Because he was very much puffed up, he forcibly kidnapped Brihaspati's wife, whose name was Tara. Text number 5. Although requested again and again by Brihaspati, the spiritual master of the demigods, Soma did not return Tara. This was due to his false pride. Consequently, a fight ensued between demigods and the demons. Text number 6. Translation. Because of enmity between Brihaspati and Shukra, Shukra took the side of the moon god and was joined by the demons. But Lord Shiva, because of affection for the son of his spiritual master, joined the side of Brihaspati and was accompanied by all the ghosts and the hobgoblins. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The moon god is one of the demigods, but to fight against the other demigods, he took the assistance of the demons. Shukra, being an enemy of Brihaspati, also joined the moon god to retaliate in wrath against Brihaspati. To counteract this situation, Lord Shiva, who was affectionate towards Brihaspati, joined Brihaspati. The father of Brihaspati was Angira, from whom Lord Shiva has received knowledge. Therefore, Lord Shiva has some affection for Brihaspati and joined his side in this fight. Siddhartha Swami remarks, Angira sa sakasat prapta vidyo hara iti prasidha. Lord Shiva is well known to have received knowledge from Angira. Onangyanati mirandasya gyanangyana shlakaya chakshurum ritanjena tasmai sri gurave namaha mukankaroti vachalam fangum nangayate girin jat kripata maham bande sri guru dinitarinam paramananda vardhanan sri chaitanya ishwaram Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaura Avani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuvyacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Okay, so we continue with this nice, interesting pastime, with a lot of lessons for all of us. We are on the way to the 10th canto. So I was wondering, why Sukadeva Goswami is narrating these pastimes that in some ways are quite conflictive and sometimes even can be confusing, no? Because we are just about to reach the 10th canto that Krishna is going to appear. And it means, well, we can expect that previous to that, everything is smooth and beautiful, preparing the scene for Krishna to appear. But somehow or another, if we can see these chapters in this 9th canto, it's a variety of lessons, pastimes, and at this point, for example, we are learning about the Surya Vansa. Chandra Vansa, no? Because we already finished about the Sun dynasty that Lord Ramachandra appeared, and now we are learning how the Moon dynasty appeared and in which Lord Krishna will take birth. So the origin of the the Moon dynasty sounds a little bit conflictive, chaos. It's a fight between demigods and demons. And it's all originated because of a mistake of the very same moon god. And not because of just a simple fight because we want to conquer the planets. It's because a mistake, a big mistake that he's doing, or he did. Now we are learning how, for example, after Soma conquering all the planetary systems, so he is a hero. And it said also the descriptions of Soma, it's about his personality. He was physically very attractive also, so brave. He conquered all the 3 planetary systems. So naturally, in that circumstance, people tend to get very much confused with pride, and that was his case. In the history of him, for us, when we study history, those great warriors, like, for example, in my studies when I was in the school, when we study about Alexander Magnum, it's big, also very strong, conquering all the countries and other kingdoms. And for them, it's the sense of entitlement. So I have the right to do things whatever I want. I conquer this place. So that tendency is kind of common. And it happened now to Soma, who is the head of the Chandra dynasty or the Moon dynasty. And so it's clear here in this verse it's explaining why it happened or what is taking place in his now he's experiencing now is pride. So Prabhupada, and also in Bhagavad Gita, we learn that pride has an origin. Somebody remember what is the cause of pride? The natural cause of pride. That pride also, because if we are overwhelmed, influenced by pride, we have the tendency to commit mistakes. Like now, our Soma, he's kidnapping the wife of his guru. It's a serious stuff. He thinks, well, I can do whatever I want. So I feel attracted for this lady. So firstly, he took her. It's his spiritual master's wife. What was coming in his brain? No, what was his thought process? I was trying to understand that. And naturally, as we understand, because of out of pride, we have, if we are influenced by, by pride, the sense of entitlement is there. Everything belongs to me, I have this power, I have these facilities, so now I conquer this, so I can do whatever I want. So that mentality reflects something. So what is the cause of pride? Root cause of pride. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explained to Arjuna what is the cause of pride. Somebody has remembered, he knows, somebody remember what is the cause of pride. Why we become pride commonly? Because all of us in some degrees we have that, we experience that we become pride. Well, in my case, many times. So, what will be the cause? Why we become proud? No ideas? Pardon? False ego? Yeah, pride is false ego. So we have wrong understanding of ourselves, yeah? Misidentification. But the root cause is something else. That's one. Do we remember? No? The root cause of pride. It's in Bhagavad Gita 3:27. Yeah. No, sorry. Pardon? Lust? Yeah, lust it can be. Well, it said, Prabhupada said the root cause of pride is forgetfulness of Krishna. And that is explained in the purport of the Bhagavad Gita 3:27. The word is Prakriti Kriyamanani Guna Karmani Sarvasa Ahankara Vimudatma Kartaham iti manjate. It means, it said, the spirit soul bewildered by the influence of false ego, thinking himself the doer of activities which are actually carried out by the three modes of material nature. So we forget that Krishna is the controller, proprietor of everything. He's our well-wisher. So everything belongs to him. So we become proud because we identify ourselves with what we have, the abilities that we have, and we forget that it's Krishna, the source of everything. And in some degrees, all of us, we experience that, even practicing devotees. Recently, I got an experience. It's supposed that I'm in charge of the Prabhupada's house and in the reception. And some devotees, sometimes they do things or they leave things. And thinking that I am in charge of that, I say something to one devotee. Oh, don't leave that things like that. So for my understanding, I was right. I have the entitlement to say things like that. But that devotee felt upset for almost 2 months. And I didn't notice. I didn't notice about it. I thought I was doing the right thing. But I came to know after 2 months that it happened, that the devotee was suffering or feeling affected for what I said. Not actually what I said, how I said it. And so they make me reflect, in some degrees, the pride that we are not very much aware of the needs of others. We think that, okay, I have this, I'm doing the right thing. So this is a very simple example that I'm sharing with you, but in many ways, in our interaction with devotees, with ourselves, even with non-devotees, so-called non-devotees, pride takes place and overwhelms us. And again, the main factor is because we are forgetting Krishna. And I was trying to understand the case of Soma, because forgetting Krishna, that he is the source of everything, even the ability that he has to conquer in the three worlds, he identified himself that, okay, I'm the conqueror, I have all these qualities, I can do whatever I want. As Mataji said, false ego. So when we got at that level, false identification of ourselves, so we are more exposed to the influence of material nature, especially passion and ignorance. And based on that influence, our discrimination of what is right, what is wrong, it's debilitated, it's blocked. So it's more like our intelligence at that point become much the ally of the mind, in the sense that will satisfy the desire of the mind and will create some arguments to justify that whatever you are doing is right. In case of Soma, for example, he thought, okay, I conquer and have these abilities, I can do it. And he lost this capacity of discrimination that by taking the wife of my guru, if I'm doing the right thing or not. He couldn't reach that point because the modes of passion and ignorance already cover him. Once we do that, the desire, the intensity of our desires, we act upon that. So naturally in Bhagavad Gita, the description is when we contemplate the object of the senses, the desire to enjoy it become, then the chain of the fall down. Then we have the desire to enjoy, and when it's not satisfied, we experience anger, and then we lose discrimination, what is right, what is wrong, and again we're in the cycle of the fall down. And it's happening here right now with Soma. And again, perhaps many of us in different degrees we are experiencing this constantly. Not at that level kidnapping the wife of the guru, but with other things. How we control our senses. The main point, for example, is that the senses are attracted to the object of the senses. It's described that Tara, the wife of Grihaspati, it was a very beautiful lady. She was a very attractive lady. So naturally, because of the laws of nature, a man or any man will feel attracted to a beautiful lady. And Soma felt the same. He felt attracted to Tara. But for someone who has knowledge or is or trying to practice knowledge and situated in the mode of goodness, he will check that point and say, okay, I feel attracted, but because this lady is the wife of my guru, I cannot act upon that, I cannot take her, I cannot enjoy with her, so he can retreat. But because Soma failed to check that point, okay, I feel attracted, I shouldn't do it or not, he didn't reach that point. Because of this false identification, the modes of passion and ignorance impulse him to act upon that. So the desire to enjoy with her was there, and he did all the mess, kidnapping the wife of the guru. And again, if we learn about the pride and the sequence of that, how because of the influence, losing control of our mind, we identify with the modes of nature, and then we act sinfully. So it's kind of a cycle. But another point quite interesting to my understanding is that it's the presence of Lord Shiva here, especially in this past time, that gave me more opportunity to explore this verse a little bit more. It said that Lord Shiva, he joined Brihaspati in this fight between demons and demigods. And Lord Shiva, he did it because he felt that I have to support the son of my spiritual master. He didn't do it because, oh, this is right, this is wrong thing. For Lord Shiva, more important was, I have to honor my spiritual master. So for that, Brihaspati is the son of Angira Muni. Angira Muni is the spiritual master of Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva naturally felt inclined to support him because of respect of his spiritual master. So I'm repeating this word, the spiritual master, because Prabhupada explained, so I have my note. Prabhupada explained how we can overcome, what is the key or the secret to overcome the influence of material nature, the three modes of material nature. And that is quite hopeful because if we are honest, practicing devotees, most of us, we are struggling trying to overcome the influence of the modes of nature. One day we are more into goodness, another day maybe more passion. And the tendency that passion without knowledge, it's definitely will end in ignorance. And the knowledge, it has to be strong. Not just knowledge, has to be vijnana in order to help us manage passion and becoming goodness. If our knowledge is not realized knowledge, if we manage or we work with the modes in the mode of passion, definitely the tendency is to end up in the mode with the mode of ignorance. The influence of ignorance it's strong there. So it said here that Lord Shiva, trying to honor his spiritual master, and Prabhupada in the Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 15, Text 25, he explained that Prabhupada said, one must conquer the modes of passion and ignorance by developing the mode of goodness. And then one must become detached from the mode of goodness by promoting oneself to the platform of Sudasattva. All this can be automatically done if one engages in the service of the spiritual master. The service to the spiritual master, but there are two main ingredients for that. It's not just serving my spiritual master, but two main factors. He said, with faith and devotion. In this way, one can conquer the influence of the modes of nature. This is Prabhupada. And it's so important because, again, it's very common for all of us struggling with the modes of nature, how we can conquer that. The easy way, because there is a sequence here. To conquer passion and ignorance, we need to we need to rise to the mode of goodness. And from there to Sattva Guna. And that is not easy. Not easy, but it's possible when we are engaged in spiritual practices that will uplift our consciousness. But the easy way, the shortcut is just render devotional service to a spiritual master with faith and devotion. If we serve our spiritual master, serving the instruction of the spiritual master, taking shelter in the instruction of the spiritual master, that in that way we will be able to overcome all the modes of nature, those three modes of nature, and be properly situated. We will achieve shelter, safety in our spiritual practice. So I thought this is quite interesting point. It's not just in the case of this pastime, Soma kidnapping the wife of the guru. We can see what is happening, and it's not just this pastime, but many pastimes that we have studied in Bhagavatam describe that one of the main causes of fall down is offenses, and especially offenses to the guru. For example, previous canto, we studied that all the demigods got in trouble. They were even defeated by the demons because they neglect the spiritual master. We saw Indra that because out of pride, the same thing, pride is coming constantly. Indra, he didn't respect properly his guru, Brihaspati, when he was coming, and he didn't pay obeisances. The guru left, and then they became weak because neglecting to honor or serve the guru properly. Also, we neglect in our spiritual practice. And also, yesterday or day before, the devotee who was giving the class explained about how even demigods, because of serving the guru, they become powerful. They even conquer the demigods. And so this is open secret now. If we offend our gurus, we neglect also the tendency to fall down. But if we honor and serve the guru, it's the possibility, the safe way to overcome all the difficulties. So spiritual master, it's very key figure, very key point in our spiritual success. Spiritual master. No? So another, maybe you can share or you can remember different pastimes in Bhagavatam that showing us how we can achieve success by following Guru, or how we fall down if we neglect the Guru. Do you remember any pastime in Bhagavatam? What happened when, out of pride, for example, we neglect Guru? Pardon? Durvasa Muni? Yeah, no, also Indra with Durvasa Muni, he didn't honor the garland that Durvasa gave him. Yeah, and also another cause of root cost, another big trouble for Indra. Another pastime. Pardon? Bali Maharaj. Yeah, he neglected Guru, but in his case was a little bit different. Yeah. In this case, let's try to remember that when we offend the Guru, the tendency to fall down or being mistaken or then we can remember the cases of those who took shelter in Guru and they were able to rise up. Do you remember any case, another pastime that neglecting the Guru was cause of problems? Out of pride mainly, no? I think last week when Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, the class for Balaram Jayanti, we remember of the case of Ramaharshana Sutta with Lord Balaram. Ramaharshana Sutta, out of pride, he didn't acknowledge the presence of Lord Balaram, and the spiritual master himself gave him a lesson. Yeah. Another pastime that not honoring properly Guru. I'm just trying to remember in Bhavatam, first canto. Indra and Brihaspati. Yeah. What was the pastime? Yeah. Yeah, that is the case. And what would be the case of by serving the Guru we achieve success in our spiritual practice? What pastimes can be? Dhruva Maharaj, yeah. Dhruva Maharaj, by following the instructions of Narada Muni, taking shelter of Narada, was the quick success in his spiritual practice, yeah. Manjari, yeah. What other? Pardon? Devahuti, following Kardama Muni, is her husband. The Guru, in this case, was Kapiladev, yeah, Devahuti. Yeah, but I'm also more trying to remember the past times that when we are struggling, having problems, if we take shelter in Guru, can rise us or helping us. As we mentioned, for example, even demons, by serving, honoring their Guru, in case Bali Maharaj, by honoring Śrīmad, respecting him, he was able to conquer all the three worlds, conquering the demigods even. That only the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he was the only person who can make the balance, helping him to acknowledge his position or remove him from the heavens. Another pastime, for example, if we see that quite important by in the taking shelter of Guru, it's, for example, when we see in the Bhagavatam is Raghugana and Jadvarata as well. It's in the beginning, out of pride, he wasn't able to recognize Jadvarata, but because he checked himself at one point when Jadvarata said something and he was pious, Raghugana, he was able to acknowledge, oh, this is not an ordinary person. So just check himself in that point. It's okay. I retrieve. I won't continue abusing this person. So maybe let me listen. Let me hear from him. And gradually he learned from him. He reversed his position, acknowledging the Guru, and he received a lot of help and illumination from his spiritual master. Okay, so this is what I was trying to share with you about this pastime, the importance of the root cause of pride, forgetfulness of Krishna, that will, at the end, a sequence step would be we misunderstand our identity, we will thinking of false ego, if we want to say. And because of the false ego, we neglect or disrespect the Shastras, authorities, people, Guru, Shastra, Sadhu. Because of false identification, we neglect the shelter, the Shastras, because the shelter is Shastras, is the Guru, is the Sadhus. So by neglecting them, we open ourselves, we expose ourselves to the influence of the modes of nature, especially passion and ignorance. So, because under the influence of passion and ignorance, then we lose capacity of the discrimination. What is wrong, what is right. We cannot discriminate. Because we lose that capacity of discrimination, naturally we'll act sinfully. We will commit mistakes. So that is the sequence that is important for us to understand. Again, we experience as practicing devotees almost every single day these things. So let's try to remember how important is that we can perhaps organize our activities during the day in a way that will help us to remember Krishna constantly. It's not just theoretical knowledge. All of us here, we know that Krishna is the source of everything. Everything belongs to Him. We try to practice or do devotional service based on that as well, but the consciousness is very shallow, or our experience is shallow, at least in my case. I have to force myself to work on who I do believe that Krishna is God, because many times I calculate things based on my skills, my ability. Okay, this time, 2 hours, I will chant my round in these 2 hours, but at the end, doesn't work like that. Something came out and my chanting took more time, but I'm not experiencing even the taste of holy name or pure chanting because I'm trying to control. I'm practicing my sadhana and doing my chanting. But how Krishna conscious I am. I'm really remembering Krishna in every activity that we are doing, how conscious we are that we are dealing with Krishna, who everything belongs to Him, even the skills, the abilities that we have, all belong to Him, even myself. So we hear many times that how we can counteract pride. This is an easy question for all of us. We hear almost every day. How we can become less proud? By being humble. Yeah, the opposite of pride is being humble. Yeah, and it's amanina. So, but what is the mood or what that means to be humble? If we follow the sequence, no pride, pride's entitled mentality, a mindset that I am this, I can do things, I am this body. So to counteract this quality, so bad quality, it's humility. So what will be the mindset of being humble? Being servant, yeah. Because we become proud because we forget Krishna. So being humble means remembering Krishna, yeah. Acknowledging, oh, these belong to Him. These skills, these abilities belong to Him. Krishna is the proprietor. It's just a question of consciousness in that way. If we work on that way, naturally it will be easy to be humble. So, but the idea is to work constantly on that. No? And as we learn, the secret, the open secret for everything in this case is serving the spiritual master with faith and devotion. Okay? Anybody has any question, any comment at this point? No questions? Shivya, you have one?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you for the nice class. Mataji, you were talking about pride, which is like a main theme of our discussion today. But my question is, how do we get free of pride completely? Because when a devotee praises us or glorifies us, we say that, it's Krishna's mercy. But in the back of our mind, somewhere we're getting happy, and we're like, yeah, we have the qualifications. So how can we get freed of it?
Mm-hmm. What I can add based in your example, like when people praise us because of some good qualities or we did something, and we say, yeah, it's because Krishna's mercy. Yeah, it's a good reaction, good response. In order to add a little bit more, I will say, when somebody also says something beautiful and you feel happy, so you can say, okay, Krishna, I offer this to you. The next step will be, we are acknowledging Krishna's mercy. It's because Krishna's mercy. Now, consciously, let's offer that to him. Oh, Krishna, now take it. This is for you. Devotees are happy. My heart is happy. I offer that to you, Krishna. In the end, that belongs to you. Do you think that will be the next effective step to become more humble? Yeah, fighting with our pride, offering that to Krishna.
Yes, thank you, Mataji.
Thank you for your question. Any other question, comment? Okay. Thank you so much. Vanchakalpatarviyascha kripa sindhuvaya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Vantara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande.